All right, so we got ourselves another little treat from Overkill today of a trailer. This one introduces to us some of the prime cuts that we will be getting from the butcher, at least to some degree. Now, this one, I don't have much that I can go on to speculate on until I start digging into some research. And having done so, just a little bit here, I'd like to speculate, on that. But let's talk about what we see. It opens up. You got this little tune, another nice one brought to us by Simon Viklund, who makes their music. Nice work as always. I like it, a little catchy ditty. Yeah, we have just a shot of these people riding in a car to who knows where, till they eventually meet up in this shop, which you find out is like a butcher shop. They're talking to this lady, about an inspection.
Mrs. Horvat, are you familiar with the EFSA?
Oh, we've already had our food inspection this year.
I'm sure you have, Miss Horvat, but not with the EFSA.
So many men.
And what we get from here is the guy, starts talking to the lady about, all these little things that, happened or something, and something involving Budapest.
Business is good, huh?
Maybe.
But it must be. Otherwise, we wouldn't hear so much about you all the way over in Budapest.
I couldn't really make out what it was, but she did something with Budapest. She was involved in some sort of mess that happened in Budapest, obviously. And he eventually just turns and he's like, you have some people who are, that worked for you that were pretty much loose-lipped, is what he was saying, and, turns to the person behind him and says, like, ain't that right, Dragon? That's a new guy we're getting, also a new heister we're getting, Dragon. He's going to be sent to work with us. We'll learn about that later, though.
What about the employees?
What about them?
Well, it seems you have problems finding people who are both competent and loyal. You see, I met an old friend of yours a while ago. Before he passed away, he was quite talkative. Right, Dragan? Show me.
Anyway, it's at this point, it's like, I want to see it. And she's like, I don't know what. And Dragon's like, kind of puts his hand on her back, And she knows she's cornered at this point, or it's what she, portrays, that she's cornered. We then cut to the scene. They open up this, this guy enters in this dark room. He's like, turn on the lights. And then the lights turn on. It does this shot of this meat locker, but it's not your typical meat locker. It's got something much more sinister in it. A bunch of heavy weapons. And that's where I want to start speculating. I mean, just take a look at this.
Dragan, get Budapest on the line.
Okay, what we just saw in there is what looks like, first of all, I want to cover it, what looks like rocket launchers in the back. In the background, it looks like rocket launchers. What? Are we getting rocket launchers? If we're getting rocket launchers, come on now. Tanks be damned. Anyway, then we don't get much else outside of some weapons that we've already got. We get little clues in on those, but we already have those. You see, like what they call the Buzzsaw 42 in the game, and several like AK models. We have so many models of AKs in the game. So pick your model, and it's probably in that pile. But we also see what looks like maybe smoke grenades or flashbangs. Well, it didn't look like flashbangs. It looked more like smoke canisters to me. So smoke grenades maybe? I don't know. Really wouldn't make sense to me though. But I feel like that's cluing in some way. Something about grenades. Maybe not necessarily smoke grenades. We have several achievements that came out way ahead of this little teaser as well, and they're in Croatian. I've come to find through researching and looking around, it's in Croatian, and one of them one of them is basically an old Hungarian proverb, which I got over here, which is nothing ventured, nothing gained. And the other one is it means like to forge or strike while the iron is hot, from what I'm seeing here. So it doesn't really tell us much in the way of what we might have to do for those. It's just kind of complete sentences just to tease us more. So, but we know it's in Croatian, and from the sounds of it, it's like either somewhere in Croatia or Hungary. I mean, because they talk about Budapest. So since they spoke most of Budapest, I can only imagine that we're probably going to get any number of Hungarian origin firearms. We saw at the end of the trailer, in the middle of the pig cuts thing, we saw the FAMAS, which we already got. So it's not teasing us from FAMASs or anything. We also, though, from here can just speculate, because there looked like there was a pistol that didn't look quite like a Beretta laying in the middle of it. It was like a 9mm Magnum, but it didn't quite look like a Beretta or anything. So it's kind of hard for me to tell. But that might be a new firearm if I could identify which one that was. If it is a Beretta, then by all means. But I have a list of Hungarian firearms, and out of these, I'm just thinking that it could be any of a couple of submachine guns if it's Croatian weapons that we might get, because there's like a little submachine gun that I found that was Croatian origin, which is the it appears I have lost it. I lost it. Oh well. But it looks like it could be any number of other AK-styled kind of guns out of Hungary, to several different kinds of pistols. I'll just put up a list in the description below if you're interested in those for speculation. But I'm thinking it looks most likely like we're going to get some sort of new handgun, and possibly a melee weapon, which is basically another stick. Shepherd's axe is some sort of cane-like thing that originates from Hungary, apparently, that I saw on this wiki page. So that's about all I have as far as what I can speculate on, unfortunately. Not as much as what I could for the dentist. Very vague, but I still think it's a solid trailer. So we will have to see what we get when the time comes. But until then,
It's payday.
on to the next great thing, ladies and gentlemen. Like, oh, we already have our, food inspection done. Spood infection. That sounds bad. Anyway,